there, good afternoon. I hope you're all doing really well. This is Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. So I help busy women fix their bloating, IBS symptoms, heartburn, painful digestion, etc., and all the other issues that are associated with gut health, hormone health, weight gain, weight loss, etc. And I do this with state of the art testing and using supplements and dietary upgrades to really help to bring things back into balance for you. And today I was going to focus on a common area of confusion, which crops up a lot, and that is it better for you to eat butter or is it healthier now to eat margarines? So I shall do a quick rundown, then I'll do the pros and cons of both, pros and cons of margarine, and followed by the pros and cons of butter and what sort of brands and things you need to look out for. Okay, so first of all, then, margarine, should you be eating that? Well, basically, margarine is kind of just solidified vegetable oil, and it goes through a hydrogenation process to make it solid and butter-like, so you can use it for spreads, etc. As I say, it's made out of sunflower oil, normally, that kind of thing, and it is very intensively, highly processed. So the main health benefits for these kind of products were that they were made from polyunsaturated fats, which are generally considered to be more healthy for your heart than saturated fats. But by the time they've undergone this hydrogenation process, they unfortunately end up not being particularly healthy. They become trans fats, and then trans fats are damaged fats essentially, which can be quite damaging to the cardiovascular system. So it's really something that, from that perspective, we want to be avoiding, really. Some margarines will contain healthier oils, such as olive oil and stuff like that. And if you are, say, vegan, or you don't tolerate dairy products particularly well, then some of these better quality ones can be a really good option for you. They're made of much nicer fats, such as shea butter, coconut butter, and various things. So the nicer brands, the ones you would find in health food shops, some of them are pretty good, actually, pretty healthy. So it's worth looking out for those. But with your bog standard margarines you're going to find in the supermarket, they're going to have additives added to help them spread much more easily and taste a lot better, because remember, they're not a natural product, so they need to have some flavour added to them to make them palatable. So what you're ending up with really is quite, a highly processed product. Those margarines also are very high in omega-6 fats, because the seed oils that they're made from are very, very, very rich in omega-6. So we really want to be aiming to get more omega-3 fats in our diets, not omega-6, because we all tend to eat far too much omega-6. And if we eat far too much omega-6, then that can give rise to inflammatory conditions as well. So we want to be really minimising the amount of omega-6 we consume and increasing the amount of omega-3. So we don't want to be eating foods that are very, very high in omega-6 fatty acids, because that's going to, make that ratio even worse for us. So given that, of course, inflammation is the root of most disease, if not all disease, then trying to get that ratio bang on is something we all want to be aiming to do, really. But as I say, if you're vegan or you're avoiding dairy, then there are some really lovely margarines out there, with some nice variety of different kinds of fats in, which are going to be not too bad at all. So on to butter then. What about butter? Pros and cons of it. So really, minimally processed. It's very minimally processed butter, and it's got a very, very high nutrient value. It's got lots of different nutrients in there. If you can get butter which is grass-fed, organic, and raw, you're really onto a winner there, because that's got a really nice ratio of fats in it. It's got a nice fat profile. It's got lots of nice fats in that are hard to find in other places. Although we've been told to avoid it because it's high in saturated fat, the jury's still out really on how much saturated fat we should be eating. It seems like we do need to have a certain amount of it in our diet. We don't want too much saturated fat in our diet, because we've kind of seen now that if you have a lot of saturated fat in your diet, then that does have a negative impact on your microbiome, which of course is not what we want at all. So we do need to have some saturated fat, but not loads and loads of it, and there will be a happy medium there somewhere. So with butter, as it's minimally processed, it's got lots of vitamin K2 in it, which we need for bone health, we need it for heart health, and it's key for cancer prevention as well. It's got a lot of very important fatty acids in it. It's got butyrate in it, which we need for a healthy gut and to keep our gut lining nice and robust. It's going to have omega-3 fats. It's going to have a much nicer ratio of omega-3 fats, which we need for brain health and heart health, skin health, of course. And it's got conjugated linoleic acid, which is going to help us to build lots of nice muscle and stop too much weight gain, etc., etc. So the bottom line is, if you can eat butter, so much the better, because it has got a much nicer nutrient profile in it. I don't think it's going to be too disastrous if you eat butter, because butter is not something that we tend to eat tons and tons of. We'll just have a small amount of it on some toast or whatever, and it's not ever going to be consumed in vast quantities, so I don't think it will tip the balance of the amount of saturated fat you're eating too much. But as I say, the better quality you can get. Kerrygold is a lovely brand. It's grass-fed butter, readily available. I know Waitrose were stocking a raw grass-fed organic one. It's a tiny bit more expensive, but it is absolutely delicious, so it's really nice if you can get that. So more on fats then. I mean, basically you want to be looking at getting a nice wide variety of fats in your diet anyway, so as well as if you're choosing to eat the better quality vegan margarines or the more natural butter, then I would also be going for nuts and nut butters, seed oils, extra virgin olive oil, etc. Keep mixing them up, and that will ensure that you've got a nice variety of all the different kinds of fats in your diets that you will need to keep yourself nice and healthy. Okay, so I hope that helps you. If you would like to speak to me about any aspect of your gut health, then do use the link below to book into my diary for a quick chat, and I've also attached a link to download my free program as well, so download that too if you think it would be helpful for you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.